Hey everybody, it's Trisha with Chocolate Musings, and I am excited today to show you, first of all, my first spreads in my new Tumbitri Mary journal. It's a dot grid journal, and I will include a link as well to the review video and blog post for this notebook. But today I'm setting it up. I have a few things in it. My future log, which hasn't been completed yet, but I am starting August, and that is where I am going to pick up this journal. I'll give you a brief overview, and then I'm just going to do a whole lot of getting it ready. I'll show you my supplies that I'm going to use as well. This, I know it looks weird. This is my cover page or my welcome page, and I imagine it's kind of like willows, and it'll have like willow leaves or, you know, just kind of leaves draping down. And then habits and mood tracker. I've never done a mood tracker before, but I decided to do it this time. I created this, it's a vellum sheet, and as soon as I create the vines and the wreath going around it, I'll adhere it to the page. Actually, as I was setting up my journal, I realized that I didn't include a monthly calendar, which I really need. So I got these, this is an Archer and Olive notepad, and they're 8.5 by 5.5, and they're tearaway sheets. So I am also going to include, so that's where this came from, is I just tore off a sheet and now I'm going to include it. And I'm just going to tape it in. Sometimes I use washi tape and sometimes I use clear tape. It depends on the look that this already has. I want to see what it looks like before I determine. So then after that, on these two pages, I'll include a monthly page. I'll set it up using my stencil. I created the stencil, and so I'll just use that too. I jump right into the weeklies. It's very minimal, very easy layouts, usually just 4 centimeters by 9 centimeters boxes. So 18 squares this way by 4 by 8 squares this way. And most of my weeklies are set up using this. I overlapped this one, so, you know, the box dimensions are the same, but their final state, it won't be the same. And then I've got some doodles down here that I'm going to complete as well. This is going to be a butterfly. Again, same 18 squares by 8 squares. Same dimensions. And then this is my journaling page and my brain dump page, which I decided to call Don't Get Boxed In, Grow Your Way Out. There is my general layout for my bullet journal. It's really an experiment to see how many different kinds of layouts I could get, and there's a lot more that I could have gotten from using these same dimensions with these boxes. But that was my experiment this month, and I plan on outlining a lot of everything with just a black pen. This one's a 0.5 pen. It's bigger than I normally use for other writing, but thick black outlines I thought would be fun. I'm going to use Crayola markers. I'm going to be watercoloring with Crayola markers. It's really easy. You just need something to scribble them on, and then I'll use a water pen like this. I'll just use a water pen like this, and this is filled with liquid, but actually it'd probably be this one. They come in different sizes, and you can scribble on a laminated sheet or, you know, something else. I use a kitchen plate, or you can use a palette. I like the amount of area that I have with a kitchen plate, especially when I'm scribbling a bunch of markers on here. I'm going to get started and just do some fun artsy designs in this one. I'm also going to do a little bit of lettering with, these are kind of dark green. This number is 228 and 249. This is more of a, it's not really an olive green. I don't know, I'll have to look up what colors they are. But I'm going to blend the two and start with the August here. And then the willow branches will actually go behind it, so I have to do the lettering first. Well, I could just leave it like this. It's really cute. Maybe I'll put a few bits of color here and there. Maybe I won't color everything. There are so many times that I hear and see people writing on Facebook or writing on Instagram, wherever, I can't draw, I can't make these beautiful spreads, I can't do these different things. I spent a very long time learning how to hand letter, and I actually have some books out and we'll link those below. But I spent a very long time learning the technique for this. But drawing these willow branches, this was so easy. It is literally lines down, and then as you can see, none of the leaves are perfect. Most of them are a little bit wonky. It's easiest if you go down one side and up the other. You'll get more even, I guess, distribution if you go up and down. But the leaves are not perfect. They're not oval. Some of them aren't even connected. But you can make it look intentional if they're all kind of just wonky. I'm going to erase the pencil marks behind here. I drew a loose pencil sketch of where I wanted the vines to flow down. And then I kind of followed it, but not really. And then I just drew oval half moon shapes against the vines on either side. And it looks like I meant it to look like this, which I'm totally saying that I did. But you don't have to be completely artsy to make something fun and whimsical. And this notebook actually came with this ruler, which is perfect for bullet journaling. It's got a calendar grid here, and these little circles are where you line it up on top of the dots here. So I think I'm going to try this out and create an August calendar right here in the corner. I'm going to use a 0.1 technical pencil and write in the little squares here. Get it lined up again because I let it go. All right, looks great. I've got my plate, my markers, and I'm just going to scribble them on my plate. And here is how you can make a fun, whimsical welcome page or even theme for your bullet journal without having to know how to draw very well or paint very well. It's a really fun thing to try, and hopefully this will give you some confidence to try it out and maybe add a little bit of color or a little bit of painting to your bullet journal. You can tell I'm not even using watercolor paints. I'm just using Crayola markers and a simple water pen with a kitchen plate. So try it out. Have some fun. Don't worry if you're not a world-class artist. It's okay. Neither am I, but I enjoy it, and hopefully so will you. This is a Pentel sign brush pen. I'm just gonna letter habits and mood, and I'll probably use this throughout the rest of the small lettering. I did notice a little bit almost of ghosting. It's almost wanting to bleed through, and so I just need to be careful about how much water I'm using. Honestly, the hardest part about this page was making sure I had 31 little leaves and stems. I had to number them, and I'll go back in and renumber those as well, just so I know which day coordinates with which leaf. But that was the hardest part about this page. You can tell that these leaves are very loosely drawn. I didn't spend a whole lot of time painting them. I just kind of put a little blob of paint, and let's see how that came through. Ooh, I am getting some bleeding on this. Is maybe not such a good thing, and I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to fix that. Maybe these vines will have to have some flowers too coming down, but I think it's probably the water pen. I'm using a little bit too much water. While I'm here thinking about it, now we're none the wiser. I just drew little swirls. They're just little swirls around the buds, around the colors that came through, and make it look like flowers. In fact, we could do that in a few other places as well. Looks good to me. Looks a lot more summery, actually. All right, so I told you before that I screwed up and didn't include a monthly calendar page, so I'm including an insert. But I'm going to do one line, and I created these stickers so I don't have to write it out. I think I'm going to try and highlight, and it's going to be an experiment because I don't normally do this. I'm going to highlight every other line. I'm just going to put it in with clear tape, which always means that it's going to be trouble for me. So I am going to try my best, and what I normally do is I don't tape it in directly. I put one part of the tape here and then I put it into the book just because I can never get it straight. In August, if you do a Sunday to, well, even if you do the other way, it starts on a Saturday this month. And so that means you have 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, just for calendar. I normally like to draw everything in with pencil, just because I screw up so much all the time. But I guess I'm gonna have an extra date up here. I needed to start here. This is why you don't do things with pen to start with. And you know, there would have been a time where I might have just torn out the whole page, because I mean, I just barely created this one and I put it in, but maybe I'll just scoot the calendar over and have this be for a different box or something. I don't know. In fact, let's do that. It's not a good day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It isn't. Oh, good. And I didn't even start on the same line. Let me plan this out and then see if I need to seriously modify something. That's silly. So Saturday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Saturday is the first one I need. Then, so I actually need 5 Saturdays. I only need an extra one down here for Sunday and Monday. So this goes over Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So I don't need these to go down to 6. All right, that would have been perfect, except for I have these random squares. Maybe I should try this washi. And I know there are some people that are like, oh, this is awful, but bullet journaling has actually taught me to let go of a lot of mistakes, especially when I started bullet journaling in a bound notebook. I had to let go, otherwise I would tear out every page and ruin the journal, and I wasn't going to do that. Since it's washi tape, I am going to Sharpie it. Yeah, I totally intended that to look like that. Sure. All right, so I will actually go back in, and before my final flip through, I will thicken up each of these lines around here. And so it'll look more like these, just because of these silly little lines right here. That's what it is. It's about problem solving, and you know, I usually end up liking the books more once I problem solve, so it's fine. All right, here we go. So here is the August monthly page, which I forgot and had to do an insert, but it allowed me to add 1 line per day, which I'm excited about that. And then here is my vinyl mood tracker, and I'm just going to adhere it with some permanent adhesive. And later I will go back in and fill out the habits. I usually try and stick to 5. Sometimes I do 10 per month, and I guess I'm doing 10 per month this time, but I have to decide which ones I'm wanting to track. I tend to keep the same ones until I've made it a habit, but I just want to reevaluate and make sure that I'm okay. All right, so then each of these weeklies, I am going to go through and outline the boxes and put a little bit of, just a little bit of color and whimsy on it. I think I probably will have to switch to actual watercolor because I don't want to get that other bleed through. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you the final flip through.